Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Sandeep calling from Actuate Singapore office, and I have my colleague Satish from India from YASH Technologies. So I guess we can start the webinar where we'll be walking you through the SAP Connector for BIRT today. For the sake of the audience, we have muted the participants. So if you have any questions, you can type on the chat box. And we'll take it up after the presentation is over. So without further delay, let's get started with what we have set out to do is walk you through the SAP Connector for BIRT. So as I would like to introduce myself again, this is Sandeep. I head the pre-sales organization for Actuate in APAC. I'll be walking you through Actuate, which is the owner of the BIRT company. And we'll be also taking you through the SAP Connector, which is developed and co-developed by YASH Technologies. So just a walk through with the agenda and the goals that we want to achieve today. So we'll give you an overview of Actuate BIRT, the BIRT value offerings in terms of the commercial offerings that BIRT has, and then we'll be focusing on the SAP Connector that's made available by YASH Technology for the BIRT technology platform. We'll be taking you through both the SAP R3 and BW connector, and it will be followed by a live demo by Satish. And finally, we'll also walk you through a competitive analysis of this SAP connector compared to the other vendors who provide the same. Even though BIRT as an initiative was started in 2004, Actuate has been around for 20 years in business. We are a listed company on NASDAQ since 1998, and the BIRT initiative, which stands for Business Intelligence Reporting Tool, was launched in 2004 for especially the open source community. And today, as it stands, we are about 140 million in terms of yearly revenue on NASDAQ.
Yeah, we got feedback that a few people cannot hear. Can you call into the telephone line? The telephone line that was sent to you, could you please call into your local number? Some can hear.
Okay.
Sandeep, please continue.
Yeah. So we are about 550 people worldwide in terms of employee strength, and we have about 2 million BIRT developers. So that's a number that is increasing dramatically over a period of time. We are looking at about 100,000 new developers order. We are headquartered in San Mateo in California, with our offices in Mumbai, London, Frankfurt, Singapore, Paris, Tokyo, Barcelona, and New York. Of course, our R&D centers are headquartered in San Mateo. However, we also have a small R&D center in Kansas City. Our biggest R&D in Asia is in Shanghai, Toronto, and Barcelona. We have over 5,000 top customers, especially in the space of banking, insurance, securities, government, healthcare, education, utilities, and telecom. Design and consulting is also what we provide as a high-level services offering, where we also coordinate and collaborate with our global SIs and systems integrator, one of them being YASH Technology in India. So the product that you would be looking at today is actually it's called Actuate 1. That's our version 11 marketing name, and the tool that you would be introduced to is BIRT, which stands for Business Intelligence Reporting Tool. BIRT is the largest and the fastest growing business intelligence application out there today. We have over 12 million downloads, more than 2 million developers. It's one of the top most Eclipse projects since 2004. It's the only business intelligence application available as a plugin on Eclipse, which is free to download from eclipse.org/BIRT. We have a huge online community, and we do offer free training in the form of BIRT workshops and roadshows that we conduct from time to time in various countries. And you'll be seeing a lot more of this year, especially for the developer events that we are focusing on. In terms of our offering, we have three key areas that we cover. Is dashboard analytic apps, which is for operational and analytic dashboards. The interactive and ad hoc reporting, which is to track and evaluate operational results and give success or failure initiatives and refine the repeat process. Basically, all these two offerings have always been there on our BIRT platform, but what we have added recently to our platform is also visual data mining and predictive analytics. This is all powered through our centralized iHub platform, which can support all your traditional data sources as well as big data sources like the new Hadoop sources, the NoSQL data sources, the new database technologies like MongoDB, Cloudera, and so on and so forth. So not only do we allow you now to just create your operational and analytical dashboards for your management, but we also allow the functionality for you to do interactive and ad hoc reporting as well as visual data mining. Just one snapshot of what exactly I meant by BIRT dashboard and analytical dashboards. Basically, using our BIRT platform, you can deliver management insights into what's happening within an organization, or you can basically show like the dashboard that now it shows you your current operational data, or in terms of what your stand is in terms of your objectives, in terms of your goals achieved, and so on and so forth. It's very easy for a user to drag and drop and personalize their dashboards with content which has been developed using BIRT. The interactive and ad hoc reporting piece of our product allows the user to take any kind of static report and immediately be able to personalize it. Just like you would do, in data table in Excel, where you would be able to resort the columns, filter the columns, add the data groupings, change the view from a table to maybe a graphical view, so on and so forth. So it's a highly interactive, way of visualizing reports that has been developed using BIRT with no coding required. So all this is powered through our AJAX framework, which is which stands for asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So it takes the least amount of bandwidth, and all these functions are delivered without refreshing from the database. So that's one of the key differentiators. What we have is, all this functionality does not need to refresh or requery your database. And visual data mining, which is our latest addition to our BIRT family, is a functionality where you can look at data to basically discover hidden relationship, to detect patterns within the data, basically identify the association rules, do market basket analysis, things like behavioral analysis, also predicting their future behaviors using decision trees, forecasting values or forecasting futures. For instance, if you are looking at a sales forecast, or what would be your next quarter results, and so on and so forth, you can do that using our visual data mining and predictive analytics tool now. So these three form the core of our total offerings. The data behind can be coming from any data source, but what we also do is anything that you have developed using BIRT platform can be delivered not only to your web browsers but also to your mobile devices. So it could be an iPad or it could be an Android-powered tablet. We support both iOS as well as Android OS. We also provide native application for both the platforms. However, you can also develop your HTML5 based apps and embed easily inside, as all our graphics are HTML5 based. So you will still be able to retain the animations and the drill downs and the hyperlinks within your HTML5 applications. And the best of all is that we do not charge for our mobile delivery separately. As long as you have licensed one of the components that I had talked about before, you have a license to access the same content through your mobile device. So the whole platform in general basically is powered by the iHub, which is basically heart of our system. it accesses the data sources of, which could be a simple data warehouse, or it could be an ERP system. And the focus today is SAP R3 and BW. So we'll be showcasing you how our BIRT iHub can connect to your backend ERP systems. And once you have got the data access, you can present it either to your customer-facing applications like data mining tools, or you can present it through our management dashboard or a BIRT 360 dashboard tool, or it could be just a part of a report which could be highly interactive and can be personalized by the end users. The end result can be in any format, as long as you are able to pull data from the backend sources, and one of them could be R3, which is our focus today. So with this, I would basically just walk you through a functional architecture before I actually pass it on to YASH to take you through the SAP connector next. So what YASH has done is, they have added SAP to our data sources, which was a key piece missing. Earlier, we used to use data into ODSs first, and then from ODS we used to do the reporting. So this functional architecture shows you how our one BIRT design, which is basically the designer, which could also be your Eclipse open source designer, can connect to any of the data sources, including SAP. And once those designs are deployed on the iServer, which is our core iHub technology, you can basically deliver the results onto your mobile tablets or via email, via live Excel spreadsheets, via the browser, using our BIRT information applications, using our BIRT analytics, which is more like a data analyzer. Also, the data can be pumped into management scorecards or balance scorecard applications. And it can be used for, of course, operational reporting, which can be stored into your archive. So basically, the end customer can have direct access via our platform to your backend SAP system. So they are never directly connecting to the SAP. So it is always secured through the iServer, iHub. So they will be accessing the iHub, where they would be using one of the templates that has been developed using the BIRT design to get access and gain access to the SAP data. However, because of our interactive functionality, they would be able to leverage on the rich, ad hoc personalization of that report if required. Okay. This solution can be deployed on an on-premise model, or it could also be on a cloud. You can set up your own cloud, or you can access through our which is called BIRT on Demand. With that, I would pass on to Satish, who would actually now take you through the specific connector that we are going to work on today, is the SAP connector for BIRT. So I'll just, Satish, I'll make you the presenter so that you can take over this and walk the team through the SAP connector that you have developed. Okay, so Satish.
Thanks, Sandeep, for the great introduction to BIRT platform. Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Satish Pulla. I have been working with YASH Technologies as a project manager of business intelligence. As a part of today's webinar, I would be showcasing the SAP connectors for BW and R3, or the ECC connectors that we have created in association with Actuate. So to introduce you with the SAP connectors that we created, they are basically the innovative plugins that allow BIRT reports to connect, access, and deliver data from SAP, BW, and R3 systems. The major benefit with SAP connectors, any developer or any business organization can get is the SAP connectors are very user-friendly or the developer-friendly. Developers can very quickly start creating complex reports or complex queries out of SAP BW and SAP R3 systems with the help of SAP connectors that we created. With the help of these connectors, the companies can make their IT departments develop dashboards or reports very quickly within very short span of time. Here is the high-level architecture of SAP connectors that we created. So we have an Actuate or Eclipse BIRT report designer where we will be installing SAP connectors. So when the developer clicks on a new data source, we start creating a new data source by capturing the login credentials and the SAP system credentials. And once the credentials are validated against the SAP system, user can save the data source and then he can start creating a new data set. So in the part of the creation of data set, we display a query builder where we will be displaying the list of BAPIs or RFMs in case of R3 connector and business objects in case of BW connector. So the user can go ahead and create a query, MDX query in case of BW connector by selecting the required dimensions, measures, by creating the filter criteria, by creating sort criteria, and various other functionalities. So once the developer finishes all the activities, he can save the query and he can preview the data within the query building. So once the query building is completed, he can go ahead and start working on the report development like any other data sets. So he can create a variety of reports or dashboards or flat graduates or whatever of his choice. So once the report development is completed, he can deploy the report onto an iServer or iHub server system and can generate reports or can view the dashboards or whatever. So let me quickly show you how to create a basic reports using SAP R3 or SAP BW connectors. We normally start creating a report by creating a new report design. I have one new report design with me here. So the first step is to create a data source. So right click on the data source and select new data source. So the new data source window displays with the list of data sources that are available on the machine. So I have two data sources here, SAP BW data source and SAP R3 data source. So let me first show you how to access data from a SAP BW data source here. I click next and it prompts for entering the credentials required to connect to SAP BW data source. So enter the SAP server name, IP address, the port number, username and password. You can validate the credentials entered by clicking on the test connection button. So once the credentials are valid, you can click finish and the data source is created. So create a data set by right clicking on the data set and selecting a new data set. Select the SAP BW data source that we created earlier. Click next and it displays the MDX query builder. So in the info providers, it displays the list of DEX queries that are available. The info providers that are available in the SAP BW system. So select the required info provider and it will populate the list of DEX queries defined in the selected info provider. So select the required DEX query. And then it populates the list of dimensions or key figures that are available or that are created as part of the DEX query. So the greatness of this connector is it displays the dimensions in the hierarchical manner as created in the query. So the hierarchies are preserved. So you can select at any level, select the dimensions of the hierarchies at any level. So let me select at the top level. You can select as many or any number of dimensions that are required. So then we have the key figures, which are measures, which are also called as measures. So select them into the query. So we can also create an order, which is nothing but the sorting order. So So click on the measure that is required for you, and it displays on the axis where you want to create the sort order. So let me select the category. In the filter tab, we can even select, you can even choose to filter data which is not required or which is unwanted for the report. So right click on the key figures here and go to the filter, and you can find a selection or condition here. So select filter condition, and it displays the list of axes that are available. Select the required axis and click OK. So a filter condition is created here, and in this we have various types of operators that are available for filtering out the data, like greater than, less than, equal to, or whatever. Select the operator that you require and enter the value which you want to filter out. So it also allows you to create slicing. It also allows you to create slicing. So right click on the key figures and select slice here, and then click on add to new group. So it creates a slice here, and if the BEX query has any SAP variables defined in the query, the SAP variables are displayed here. SAP variables are nothing but the parameters that are required for the BEX query. So the functionality of having SAP variables is, again, to filter out data with the help of user input. So instead of filtering out data with a static value like this, we can also filter out data with the help of user input. So we can map the SAP variables to the report parameter. So after completing all the creation or selection of all the options, it generates the MDX query in the MDX query tab. So click Finish to save the MDX query. So it displays the dataset window with all the dimensions and the key figures that we selected while in the process of building the query. We can even create a computed column by clicking on New and by entering an expression here. So if there are any SAP variables that were defined as a part of MDX query, BEX query, they will be displayed in the SAP variables tab, and when we select them to map to the parameters, displayed here. And in addition to having filters in the MDX query, you can also have some additional filters here, which will act on the data set that is returned, the result set that is returned by the MDX query. To preview the results, click on Preview Results option here. So it displays the data based on the query that we created. So click OK to save the data set. In order to make any changes, you can double click and or you can even edit the data set, and you can open the data set again and you can make the changes, and you can repeat the process again. So we can even create a report based on the data set that we generated just now. And so let me so this will execute the query on the SAP BW system, and we'll get the result set back and will display as per the report layout that we created. So let me go back and let me show you how to create a SAP R3 system, R3 query or R3 dataset. So create a new data source here, select SAP R3 data source in the data source dialog box, select next, and it prompts for the entry of credentials that are required for the SAP R3 data source. So enter the SAP server IP address, username, password, client ID, language, and the system number. So again, you can test the credentials by clicking on test connection here. Click finish to save the data source. So we can repeat the process of creating a data set by selecting new data set and selecting the SAP R3 data source that we created just now. Click next to display the list of BAPIs and RFMs that are available in the SAP R3 system. So it displays the list of BAPIs or RFMs that are available in the browser window here. So select the BAPI or the RFM that is required for us, and it displays the details of the BAPI on the right hand side of the window. So it displays the list of parameters that are available in the BAPI, and it displays the documentation about the BAPI. Documentation is some kind of technical help that is created by the developer while creating the BAPI, which can help other developers to know more about the BAPI. So click on the documentation available for each parameter to know more information about the parameters here. So once you want to create a report based on this particular BAPI, click on the checkbox at the top of the right hand side pane, which shows select this BAPI into the dataset query component. So once you select this checkbox, it displays the BAPI is selected for the dataset query component. The next step is one more thing about this query builder is, if you don't know, or if you have too many BAPIs or RFMs displayed in the browser, you can search for a particular BAPI by entering wild characters in the function name or in the group name, and then click Start Search, and it will find out the BAPI matching the criteria that you gave. So after selecting the BAPI into the dataset query component, the next step is to select details of that particular BAPI. So if you click on the Details tab, it displays the BAPI selected in the previous step. It displays the list of import parameters, the list of export parameters, and the list of import-export parameters that are available or that are defined on the BAPI. So select an export parameter in order to return a result set to the report. So once you select an export parameter, it displays the list of columns that are defined in the table export parameter. So in the metadata that is displayed here, you can see the column name, the description of the column, the DB type of the column, the corresponding Actuate type, Actuate data type, the length of the column, and the reference name, which is nothing but the technical name. So if you want to use this particular table as a primary result set, select the option here, use this export table as a primary result set. So click on Finish to save the query that we have created now, and it displays the Edit Dataset window where we can see the list of output columns, the data type of the output column, the analysis type, the display name, etc. Similarly, we can create a computed column if you want to compute some columns based on any expressions. And if there are any input parameters that are defined as a part of the BAPI or the RFM. They are displayed here, and it shows the direction as input or output. So if you want to link it to any report parameter, you can click on that particular parameter and click on edit, and then you can create a new parameter here, and you can link it to the report parameter, which will accept input from the report user and will run the report accordingly. So if you want to filter out data based on any other criteria, you can create a new filter here. And then you can preview the results by clicking on the preview results option available in the dataset window. So this will execute the BAPI or the RFM that we selected in the previous step and will return the data as sample data as shown here. So we normally display the first 500 records that are returned by the BAPI. Click OK to save the dataset. So in order to run the report with the dataset that we created now, just drag and drop the dataset and click on View in the web browser window. So this will execute the BAPI in the SAP R3 system and will get back the data and will display in the report as the layout is created. The advantage that any user can get out of having both the connectors is we can create a joint dataset based on a dataset created in the SAP BW system and a dataset created on SAP R3 system. And we can create a joint dataset, we can link both the datasets, and we can have a single report generated out of both the data. So this we got the data report preview here. So this report can be enhanced further. So if you want to edit the dataset, double click on the dataset and the edit dataset window appears again, where you can make the changes to the dataset as required by you. So the advantage of this particular connector is that it can display both BAPIs and the RFMs. RFMs are the remote function modules that are created in SAP R3 system. So here we have the edit dataset window where we can go to the browser, select a different BAPI, and you can do whatever you want to based on your requirement. So that is all about how to use the SAP BW and SAP R3 connectors for getting data from SAP BW or SAP R3 system respectively. So we did some analysis internally and we created a comparison of SAP connectors, the BIRT, with some other options available in some other reporting tools to get data from SAP BW or SAP R3 systems. And we did a comprehensive comparison of the options available. So while we compare the architecture with other tools, the SAP connector for BIRT has an excellent seamless integration with SAP. So any BAPI or any BEX query that is created in the BW or R3 system can be retrieved without doing any extra work. Just by opening the data set, you can retrieve all the list of BAPIs or BEX queries that are available for that particular user. So the connection architecture is also excellent when compared with other reporting tools when it comes to BIRT SAP Connector. And the ease of use, as you have seen in the demo just I gave, it's very easy to use, and any developer with about 1 hour of training can start working and can start creating very complex reports with basic idea on MDX when it comes to SAP BW Connector. And the graphical query user is again excellent when compared with other reporting tools. You never feel that you are using an external connector. So you always feel that you are working within the BIRT environment. And support for joining multiple data sources in the designer, again, we have a very good functionality when it comes with joining the multiple data sets. SOAP support, we created the SAP BW connector based on SOAP architecture. So again, we have an excellent support for the SOAP architecture here. Component reuse is also excellent when it comes with SAP connector for BIRT. Similarly, we also compared the functionality with other reporting tools. When it comes to extraction of BAPIs, we provide excellent functionality for extracting BAPIs that are defined in the SAP BW system. SAP R3 system. So any BAPI for which the user is given access to will be displayed in the browser, as you have seen earlier. So no additional configuration has to be done in order to extract the BAPIs. So just make the BAPI available to the user and they display in the browser. Search functionality, as you have seen, we provide an extensive search functionality where the developer can search for any particular BAPI or for RFM required for them. Represent BW hierarchies in a hierarchical way. When it comes to BW connector, we retain the hierarchy and we display them in the hierarchical manner. We never flatten the hierarchy, which is not possible with other reporting tools. We can even create cross joins on the axis in the BW connector. Slicing and dicing on BW measures and dimensions is also possible, as I have shown in the demo. We can create slices. And in the BW connector for BIRT, we can filter on the BW measures or dimensions. So the query creation, developer never has to bother about making any changes to the query because the MDX query is automatically created by the SAP BW connector. And the query that is created using SAP BW connector can be run in the MDX test by making slight changes to the MDX. Coming to the querying capabilities, the SAP BW connector for BIRT supports SAP variables which is not supported by any of the other reporting tools that we compared with. Coming to the SAP R3 connector for BIRT, we provide search for SAP BAPIs, which is not provided by any of the reporting tools except Eclipse. Incremental result set, while data preview, we do that, and most of the other reporting tools also do that. So, coming to the dependency on SAP logon pad, BIRT SAP connectors for BIRT does not have any dependency on the SAP logon pad. So you don't have to bother about installing SAP logon pad on the workstations where the developers will be working on. You just install the SAP BW connector and SAP R3 connectors and they can start working. So joining multiple data sets, either from SAP BW or SAP R3 or any other external databases, we support joining multiple data sets, which no other reporting tool provides. Comparing with several miscellaneous features, data retrieval performance is very good when it comes to SAP BW and SAP R3 connectors. But again, it depends on several other factors, like the network traffic and the load on the SAP servers, etc. The platform support, we currently support Windows, Linux and Solaris. Ease of installation, we provide a setup file which is very easy to install, and users don't have to bother about configuring anything else except installing the connectors. So the setup that we give is a single one-click installation program. So user with basic understanding can quickly install and configure the SAP R3 connectors and SAP BW connectors. We also provide logging mechanism for the connectors, and the overall performance of the connectors, the BIRT, is as we compared with other reporting tools, is very good. So let us have a glance at the benefits that a developer, a user, or an organization can derive out of the SAP connectors for BIRT. One benefit that any organization can get is platform independent. So they can buy the connectors and they can start working on either Linux or Windows systems. Simplified connectivity. So users does not need to bother about any configuration. You just install the connectors and you can start using the connectors by entering the credentials. Only configuration that has to be done is to give access to the developer or the user ID that we use to generate the reports. So any BAPI or any BEX queries that are exposed to this particular user ID are already available in the connector. Another benefit is familiar look and feel. There is no need for having an exhaustive training on how to use the connectors. So with a basic training and with the manual that we provide, any developer can start working and can start creating extensive queries, complex queries out of the BEX or a BAPI, depending on the connector. One more benefit that we have is a developer can view and select the table or structure parameters within the graphical query editor, which is not available in some of the other reporting tools. So the major benefit that we would like to showcase is the access privileges are controlled by SAP systems. So we don't do anything on the side of connectors or BIRT. Any access that is given by the SAP administrator are used and are retained by the BIRT connectors. SAP connectors for BW and R3 supports localization. So when you buy a connector and when the organization is working across the globe in various locales, the same connector can display the language as per the locale of the workstation. Seamless integration. SAP R3 and SAP BW connectors for BIRT are very seamlessly integrated with SAP and BIRT. So as you have seen in the demo, it pulls out all the BEX queries and all the BAPIs and RFMs that are available for the user, and the developer does not have to do any configuration or any settings on the BIRT side. And the data that is displayed is real time, so there is no cache in place, or there is no historical data. So whatever data is available in the database is pulled and displayed. Another benefit that is available for the SAP connector for BIRT is data can be previewed within the query editor. So if there are any changes to be made, the developer can go ahead and make the changes without even coming out of the query editor, which is not provided by any of the reporting tools available in the market. For more information on SAP Connector provided by YASH Technologies, you can visit our website. For white papers and marketing brochures, you can visit the links mentioned here. And there are also a couple of recorded demos available on the website. In case you want to evaluate the connectors and you need a trial version, you can go ahead and register in the links provided here. And we are happy to provide you a trial version which is valid for 30 days. And you can get a hands-on with the trial version of SAP connectors that are available, and if you are happy, then you can go ahead and you can go buy a professional version of the connector.